Now, Marco knew he wasn't the father of him and Sage's daughter, and he knew that 10 years ago when Sage got pregnant in college. Because when Sage got pregnant in college, Mike came to him straight up and said, yo, bro, Sage cheated on you a few weeks ago, and that may be my baby. But Mike didn't want to be a father because he was getting ready to be drafted to the NFL. So he wanted Marco to convince Sage to have an abortion. But Marco didn't want that, and he wanted to be with Sage. So both of them promised to keep it a secret that Mike might be the daddy. And they was actually able to keep that secret for 10 years, all up until Marco's mom started realizing the older her granddaughter got, it looked at nothing like her or Marco or nobody in their family. Not to mention, Marco's mom did not like Sage. So she took it upon herself to go behind Marco and Sage back and do a DNA test. And that's when she found out the baby is not Marco's baby. So she confronted Marco. And Marco acted like he knew nothing about it. But here's the thing. Marco was still willing to keep it a secret, but his mom wasn't, because his mom wanted to expose Sage for the liar and cheater that she was. So Marco did the only thing he could do. He confronted Sage. And when Marco confronted Sage, Sage admitted it because she was very remorseful. She was hurt that she had cheated on Marco 10 years ago. And she was also hurt that she kept her daughter away from her biological father for so long. And that's what made Marco upset. Because see, Marco wanted Sage to keep it a secret because Marco was insecure. And he felt like if Mike found out that he had a baby with Sage, that would ruin his family. And when Sage refused to keep it a secret, that's what made Marco say he wanted a divorce. But as time went on and Marco realized that Sage wasn't going to back down from the divorce, that's when Marco devised his plan to make Mike disappear. Now, Marco is not a gangster or a thug, so he knew he wasn't going to harm Mike physically, but he needed to make Mike disappear. And that's when he came up with this credit card scam. Because, see, Marco knew that Mike was strung out on drugs, and Mike needed money. And Marco knew that because Mike was always asking Marco for money. And not only that, he doubled back and went back to Sage and say, listen, I want us to work on our marriage. I know that you have to tell Mike that he's the father of our daughter, and I'm willing to live with that. But please don't tell him just yet. Give me time to adjust. And Sage agreed. Now, once Marco convinced Sage not to tell, that's when he go behind her back and confront Mike. He tell Mike straight up, hey man, listen, Sage just found out that you're the father of her daughter. And not only that, she's threatening to come after you for back child support. Now Mike started panicking because Mike know that he's strung out on drugs and he don't even got enough money to take care of the family he got with Nola. And that's when Marco present this credit card scam to him. Because Marco tell him, listen, we done held this secret down for 10 years and I'm willing to help you out of this difficult place that you're in. And so Mike agrees to do it. But there's still a problem, because now that Mike have agreed to do this credit card scam, Marco needs to find credit cards for Mike to scam. And that's when he goes to Vic. And he goes to Vic because he knows that Vic has access to Dakota credit cards. And not only that, he knows that Vic has a gambling problem because Vic is always asking him for money. So he goes to Vic and say, listen, you're always asking me for money. Mike is always asking me for money. So I came up with this plan to get both of my friends out of debt, and then we all can live happily ever after. And of course, Vic agrees. And this is how the credit card scam began. And now Mike and Vic is doing the credit card scam. And everything seems to be going good as Marco planned it, except for one thing he didn't expect: Mike's drug addiction. See, Mike was so strung out on drugs that even though he was doing the scam with Vic, it wasn't enough money. So Mike took it upon himself to go straight to Dakota and ask her for the credit card numbers so that he can have extra credit card numbers so he can take care of his family as well as support his drug addiction. And of course, Dakota agreed. Dakota agreed because she originally thought that Nola knew about it. After all, she had just called Nola to borrow money, and she said, hold on, let me ask Mike and then I'll let you know. Now everything is going good on Mike's end because he's scamming with Dakota, he's scamming with Vic. But that's also how Mike got caught. Because see, every time Mike would get some credit cards from Dakota, he would be sloppy with it. He would go check in hotel rooms and order his stuff straight to his hotel rooms with stolen credit cards. And on top of that, one day Dakota said, listen, I don't want to do this no more, because she started feeling bad for scamming her clients. And that's when Mike told her straight up, no, baby, you still got to do this or I'm going to snitch on you. And that's when Dakota went to Capri to help her get out of this mess. But before their plan could actually work, Mike ends up getting arrested because he's so sloppy with the credit card numbers. Now fast forward to when everybody got out of jail and all 4 of the women met up. See, they met up to go over all the information they knew. And that's when Nola forgave everybody. She forgave Capri, Dakota, and even Sage for having the baby. And she vile. She said Mike would not be our downfall. So what are we going to do? And when she said that, that's when Sage said straight up, baby, I'm a lawyer. I'm finna go through all the case files that they got on Mike and figure out exactly what he was doing and who he was doing it with. And Capri was like, girl, yeah, don't even worry about it, because I'm finna put my ear to the streets. I know all the scammers out here. I'm finna see what the streets saying about what's going on. And that's when Dakota said, oh, I'm just gonna record giving him more credit card numbers because I know he gonna call. And Nola said, that's right. I know he's gonna call because I'm gonna convince him that I'm gonna give him another chance to fix our marriage, but on one condition, he gotta come to Miami. So they all decided what they was gonna do, and they said, hey, they was gonna meet back up in a few days. So a few days later, Nola texts the group chat and say, y'all, we need to meet at our favorite spot tonight. It's an emergency. And so when they all met up, the first thing Nola said was, y'all, Mike is going to be in town tomorrow. He is getting a plane ticket right now as we speak. And that's when Dakota said, oh yeah, I already know he coming to town because he called me earlier today telling me, let me get that. That's the code word for I need more credit card numbers. And then Capri said, oh, y'all won't believe this. And she said, Dakota, I need you to brace yourself. She said, I've been talking to everybody and the word on the street is Vic has been running around town scamming people all with fake credit card numbers. And he been using all these credit cards at the casino. Now at this point, nobody can believe what's going on. They like, what Vic got to do with this? And that's when Sage says, unfortunately, yeah, Dakota, I'm sorry. What Capri saying is true. I looked through the case file and all the credit cards have been used at casinos. Yes. And then Sage says, I also been talking to one of my officer friends, and Dakota, I need you to record giving Mike those credit card numbers, but don't worry, my friend is going to be on standby when you meet up with Mike. So Mike is immediately going to be arrested. Yes. And just like that, the next day, Mike is in town, and the first thing he do is hit up Dakota for them credit card numbers. I'm talking about he don't even go see Nola or his kids first. Soon as he touched down off of that plane, he hit up Dakota. So Dakota said, let me know where we gonna meet at and I'll be there. And baby, once they meet up, the first thing Dakota say is, Mike, why you ain't tell me Vic had nothing to do with this? You could have been told me he had something to do with this. It would have been a lot easier. Mike told her, you need to stay in your place. You don't need to know nothing about this. I run this. This is my operation. You do what I tell you to do and nothing more and nothing less. Dakota said, okay, I was just asking. Now, as soon as she handed Mike that credit card number, baby, the police came and arrested Mike. Yes, Mike immediately went to jail. But here's the thing. When Mike go to jail, he turned around and snitched on Vic. So the very next day, they go and arrest Vic. And when Vic get arrested, Lord of mercy, Vic turn around and snitch on the real mastermind of this whole entire scam, Marco. Yes. So when Vic get arrested the very next day, when Sage wake up and she's walking out the door to take her daughter to school, the police rush inside the house and arrest Marco. She don't know what's going on because no one still knew about Marco being involved. She's screaming, she crying. Her daughter screaming and crying, Daddy, what's going on? She like, oh my God, this gotta be a mistake. What's going on? What's going on? The officer tell her straight up. She was like, go drop your daughter off at school and then come by the police department and talk to me and I can fill you in on what's going on. So Sage does exactly that. She goes drop her daughter off at school, and that's when they tell her everything that's going on, and she just couldn't believe it. Now fast forward 6 months later, everybody end up going to prison. See, Mike and Vic end up testifying against Marco. So Mike and Vic got 7 years in prison. And Marco? Oh, Marco got 25 years in prison because the feds charged him with a RICO case. To this day, Sage is still a successful lawyer in Miami, Florida. And not only successful, oh baby, she more successful than she ever been. Because after this case, you know her clientele went up. And Dakota, oh, she still owns one of the most successful hair salons in Miami, Florida. And I'm talking about business booming. Okay. And Capri, oh, she finally turns her life around. She is no longer the hometown scammer. She actually opened up a business to protect businesses from being scammed, since she know all the ins and outs. And Nola, oh, she opened a non-profit organization to help women who are leaving marriages when they have nowhere to go, no one to turn to, and no money to spend. More of the story is, you never let nobody come between your friends. If somebody is your friends, don't be keeping secrets, because you never know how these secrets can be keeping you divided that will ruin your life. I'll catch y'all next story time.